You're lying in your bed, trying to sleep, and everything should be normal. But it isn't. It starts with the smallest sound, a faint whisper in the corner of the room. You strain to hear it, but it stops. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe you're just tired. The room is quiet again, and you roll over, eyes heavy. Then, you hear it. The same whisper, clearer this time. It's not a word, just a hushed, airy sound, like someone breathing right behind you. Your heart quickens, and you sit up, staring into the darkness. There's nothing there. Of course, there's nothing there. But the air feels different, thick and charged, as if you're not alone. You tell yourself it's just the wind outside, but you can't shake the feeling that someone is watching. The whisper comes again, this time from the other side of the room. It sounds almost like your name. You flick on the light, but the room is empty, just as it always is. Hours pass, and you can't sleep. Shadows dance on the walls, shifting, moving when they shouldn't. You start to notice things you never saw before, little changes in the room. A picture frame slightly tilted, the closet door an inch more open than you remember. Your pulse races, and you shut your eyes tight, willing it all away. The next night, it's worse. You hear footsteps, soft, cautious. You lock your door and sit with your back against it, listening. Voices come and go, rising and falling like a tide, too low to understand but loud enough to terrify. You can't tell if they're in the hallway or in your head. There's a pressure building inside your skull, a creeping certainty that something is wrong. You try to tell someone about it, a friend, a coworker. They look at you strangely, concerned, but not believing. It's probably just stress, they say. You're overthinking it. They laugh it off, and for a moment, you think maybe they're right. But then you notice how they look at you when they think you aren't watching. You start wondering if they're part of it. Days blend into nights. Sleep becomes impossible. You keep hearing your name, whispered, over and over, coming from nowhere. You feel eyes on you in every room. Your reflection in the mirror looks wrong, eyes too wide, face too pale. You swear it moves, just a fraction, when you look away. You throw out the mirror, but it doesn't help. Now, you catch glimpses of a figure in your peripheral vision, a shadowy shape, there one moment and gone the next. You turn your head sharply each time, but there's nothing. You feel like you're losing your mind, but it's real. You know it's real. One night, you hear breathing behind you, slow, heavy, unmistakable. Your skin prickles, and you freeze, too terrified to turn around. The breathing grows louder, rasping and wet, right against your ear. You gather the courage to glance over your shoulder, and there's no one there. But the whispers are louder now, insistent, calling your name, mocking you. You shout at them to stop, but they only laugh, a hollow, echoing sound that rings in your ears long after it's gone. You sit in the corner, rocking back and forth, waiting for the whispers to end, but they never do. And then, one night, you see it. A pale face staring at you from the corner of the room, eyes empty and dead. You scream, but no sound comes out. Your own voice betrays you, choking in your throat. The face smiles, a slow, awful grin that stretches far too wide. You blink, and it's gone. You try to tell yourself it was a trick of the light, but you know better. It's always been there, watching, waiting. The whispers grow louder, drowning out your thoughts, your mind splintering under the weight of them. You can't tell what's real anymore, what's your imagination and what's the truth. The shadows, the voices, the eyes, they all blend together. The only thing you're certain of is that you're not alone. You've never been alone. It's been with you all along, waiting for you to finally see it. And when you close your eyes, you feel its breath on your neck, and you know it's only a matter of time before it doesn't hide anymore. You don't sleep. You barely eat. You avoid mirrors and dark corners. Every noise is a threat, every shadow a warning. You see faces in the patterns on the walls, hear voices in the hum of the refrigerator. It's not paranoia if it's real, is it? Or maybe it is. Maybe the whispers are right. Maybe the darkness was always inside you, waiting to surface. You'll never know for sure, because you can't trust your own mind anymore. All you can do is wait, listening to the whispers that never stop, and hope that someday you'll wake up and find it was all just a nightmare. But deep down, you know you won't.